said, I'm stumbling over limited atonement because of some texts. Well, I got some really close Reformed friends who stumbled there. I told David here on the way over, said, Rick, if you'll give me a half an hour, I could persuade you on limited atonement. I know I could. So I'll try to get that half an hour. But as far as election, as far as the irresistibility of God's grace, as far as his keeping power and the substitutionary atonement, the necessity of justification by faith, these central things, we're there. And I'm not going to push somebody like that away when they've got so much to offer. Practically, and here I just think he could put me to shame with his aggressively, in your life, transformative discipling of his church.
Friends, this is going to be a revolution. You see, over the years as we've been training all these 400,000 churches around the world, we built a network. And there are literally tens of thousands of other churches waiting to do what Saddleback has been testing the last 2 years. What is the vision for the next 25 years? I'll tell you what it is. It is the global expansion of the kingdom of God. It is the total mobilization of his church. And the third part is the dream of a radical devotion of every believer. Now, I choose that word radical intentionally because only radicals change the world. Everything great done in this world is done by passionate people. Moderate people get moderately nothing done. And moderation will never slay the global giants. In 1939, in a stadium much like this, in Munich, Germany, they packed it out with young men and women in brown shirts for a fanatical man standing behind a podium named Adolf Hitler, the personification of evil. And in that stadium, those in brown shirts formed with their bodies a sign that said in the whole stadium, Hitler, we are yours. And they nearly took the world. Lenin once said, give me 100 committed, totally committed men, and I'll change the world. And he nearly did. A few years ago, they took the sayings of Chairman Mao in China, put them in a little red book, and a group of young people committed them to memory and put it in their minds. And they took that nation, the largest nation in the world, by storm because they committed to memory the sayings of the Chairman Mao. When I hear those kind of stories, I think, what would happen if American Christians, if world Christians, if just the Christians in this stadium, followers of Christ, would say, Jesus, we are yours? What kind of spiritual awakening would we have? Jesus said, I want you to do this publicly. So what I want you to do is take the card, and in just a minute, if you'd say, Rick, I am willing to serve God's purposes in my generation, I want you to open up to the sign that says, whatever it takes, whatever it takes. And I want you to just say, this is my commitment before God and in front of everybody else. I'm in. Then I would invite you to just stand quietly and hold up whatever it takes. I'm looking at a stadium full of people who are saying, whatever it takes, God.
Draw the circle there, and suppose you disagree with me on that. Now you're faced with the question, okay, I'm with John Piper theologically. I'm not with Rick Warren on a bunch of things. John Piper has just chosen to hang out with Rick Warren. What do I do with John Piper? That's called secondary separation issues. And there you are. I hope we can disagree about who we hang out with. Okay? Because a lot of traditional fundamentalists have said, no, if you hang out with somebody that I believe I should separate from, then I'm going to separate from you. And I want to say, look, can we disagree about whether he would come to your conference and you still be willing to eat with me, talk with me? So.
No